Hello, and thank you for joining me today for this Facebook Live. You're in the right place if you're curious to learn about Advanced Integrative Therapy, which is known as AIT for short. AIT offers a powerful trauma treatment, and today I'm going to tell you how to get started with AIT basics. My name is Lisa Bowker, and I am an AIT teacher and supervisor, and I've been using AIT since 2005. So it's been about 18 years, and it's slowly what I use in my practice. I've done this because of the unique and profoundly deep results I can get with clients. So you might resonate with what led me to discover AIT in the first place. I had been using energy psychology in my practice for about 5 years, and I was getting great results with many clients. And at the same time, not getting anywhere with other clients. They seemed on the surface to have similar issues, but I wasn't able to get and help them kind of get unstuck. So I felt like there was something important missing in my approach because they weren't getting the kind of results I was getting with everybody else. So something must have been missing. I became determined to find out what that was because, like you, I really care to help my clients make change and find a way forward. This is what led me to the AIT Basics course, and I discovered there a trauma treatment modality that could gently and quickly get to the root cause of an issue and provide long lasting trauma resolution. Now, if we circle back to my original problem, what I also found was that AIT could handle the kind of complexity of all the after effects of how trauma sits in a person and how they get structured in that person. So, AIT provided me with a way to precisely address how the trauma existed in a particular individual. Because sometimes relief means not only treating a trauma, but understanding very deeply and being able to heal how a person has been affected in their character structure, or their personal archetypes have been affected by a trauma. So AIT does this because it gives you very step-by-step protocols to help you work in the depth of the person's psyche, work with their body, and work with their spirit. So as you can imagine, I really became hooked on AIT, and I became an AIT teacher in 2007. So I'm really excited today to get to share with you more about AIT and what you learn in the AIT Basics seminar. So AIT was developed in the 1990s by Dr. Asha Clinton, and it is a really unique synthesis. So it synthesizes Western therapies such as transpersonal, psychodynamic, depth, cognitive, and behavioral with all the advances that have occurred in the trauma field and in neuroscience, and integrates this with a somatic and a body oriented treatment approach. And at the same time, draws upon the healing wisdom of many spiritual traditions. So, in a nutshell, AIT gives you a way to help heal the whole person. And if we think about it, trauma is what disconnects us from our wholeness. So, AIT sees trauma as the root cause of our present day suffering. In AIT, we have a very broad definition of trauma, and trauma can be situational trauma, so something that happens one time, maybe like a car accident, or developmental trauma. This is the kind of trauma that can repeat over and over in someone's life, often starting in childhood, such as the experience of a child not feeling seen or heard by their parent. So, how does AIT work? When we can't fully process these kinds of distressing or traumatic experiences, a residue remains within us. This can be located in our bodies, our emotions, our behaviors, our beliefs. It can also be found in how we relate to other people, or even in how we relate to our own spirit. These traumatic after effects create our present day issues. Each time we treat a trauma in AIT, we use something called the three-step transformation model. So let's look at an example, and I will break this down for you. Let's imagine a client comes to us and they tell us they are having trouble speaking their truth. So in AIT, we call this the client's recent trauma. This is what they're struggling with in the present. We make a simple treatment phrase to represent it. All the times and ways I can't speak my truth. Then we need to help a client identify the root cause or the first time this happened in their life. We might ask the client, what is this feeling of not being able to speak your truth remind you of? They could say, my mom harshly judged me. That completely shut me down as a child. So for the root cause, we could use the phrase, all the times and ways I was harshly judged by my mom. Next, we need to energetically treat what we found. So we start by treating the root cause. That's step one of our three-step process. And then we treat the recent trauma, step two. So when we're doing energetic treatment, a client uses their hand to contact their energy centers, or what's known as chakras. One by one, these energy centers go down the front of our body. And while we're contacting these chakras one by one, we'll be simultaneously saying a treatment phrase once at each center. Your energy centers hold and release all of our experiences, our memories. They record what has happened to us. So when we are going down our energy centers, we're able to release negative emotions and sensations that are connected to whatever we're wanting to treat. Once we have treated the root step, which again is our step one, and our recent trauma, step two, we're ready for step three. This is where we treat the connection. So the connection between the past and the present issue. We put this all together in a single phrase. So in our example, we could have, because mom judged me harshly as a child, that's our root cause. I'm afraid to speak my truth in the present. That's our present issue. When we treat this connection, it unhooks the present from the past. This ends that repetition cycle in a client's life. So in our example, our client stops feeling so afraid and maybe is able to take the risk of starting to speak up and say what they really feel. When we repeat something over and over and over again in our lives, that's traumatic in and of itself. So this is one of the reasons why we have to treat this third step to really create complete trauma resolution. After we do a three-step transformation, the memory still remains, but without all the negative emotions and sensations. So, and best of all, the natural self-healing process can start to resume. All right, I hope this gave you a very quick overview of the value of AIT's approach to treating trauma. Let's look next at what you learn in the AIT Basics class. So in the first AIT course, you learn all the fundamentals of AIT. This includes AIT theory, all the energetic tools. So as I've mentioned, working with energy centers. You also learn muscle testing. Muscle testing is a technique from applied kinesiology. It helps us access the body's wisdom and communicate with the client's unconscious. What this does is allow us to have a very attuned way of following a client's pace and their inner readiness. In basics, you will learn all of AIT's core protocols to heal trauma, to heal negative beliefs, as well as to clear any resistance that a client may have to healing. I feel like most of our clients come in consciously wanting to heal, but at the same time, there can be things at the unconscious level that make them not ready or not want to heal. They may not feel safe yet to heal. This creates an inner conflict, and it's the kind of thing that can prevent effective treatment. So in AIT, we address resistance right up front before we even begin treating the trauma. Once a client has healed trauma, AIT also believes that it's necessary to strengthen the positive. And we can do this now by going up the energy centers. When we do that, that increases, awakens, it instills something. In AIT Basics, you will learn how to awaken positive beliefs and positive qualities in your clients. You will also learn a series of AIT meditations that helps clients reduce stress, relax, and develop their spiritual connection. So I think you can see that AIT is an incredibly comprehensive approach to healing and helping you return your clients to a sense of inner wholeness. After you take basics and the second introductory class, which is called Mastering AIT Practice, you can take then any advanced AIT seminar on a specific topic. So such as anxiety, PTSD, healing spiritual wounds, intergenerational, historical, and cultural trauma, how to work with AIT personal archetypes, dreams, even cancer treatment and prevention. So as you can see, it's quite a range of topics that AIT covers. All right, so that's a quick introduction to basics. I want to say just a few words about what it is like to be in an AIT seminar. During basics, one of the things that's really wonderful is you get a chance to use all the AIT protocols on yourself. It's experiential, you have time for questions, and you have times to integrate what you're learning. AIT also brings a really intentional focus to the quality of your presence and what that presence is like with clients. You will experience this kind of presence in class with your AIT teacher. I think this kind of presence also creates a very warm and supportive, safe environment that allows you to have a real firsthand experience of using AIT. I am always profoundly touched and amazed by the kinds of personal transformations that occurs for participants even in the practice times. Last, AIT is a versatile approach. It integrates well with other therapeutic approaches that you already use. You can use AIT in session with your clients. Clients can use it outside of session on themselves, and you can use AIT on yourself. This is really helpful in preventing burnout and also to continue your own growth and evolution. It's often difficult to treat in our clients what we haven't healed in ourselves. So if you are excited about learning more about basics or you want to enroll, you can do so on the AIT website, which is ait.institute. To sign up for an AIT course, you can go to the AIT store and then select the seminar you want to register for there. There is a calendar on the website which lists all the upcoming basics and other AIT seminars. Seminars are taught in person. They're also taught online, and they're taught in 3 languages, English, French, and Spanish. I will be teaching my next online basics in July over 2 consecutive weekends, July 22nd, 23rd, 29th, and 30th. You are always welcome to reach out directly to me with questions. I am at lisa@lisabowker.com. Thank you so much for your interest in AIT, and I genuinely hope to see you in the future at an AIT seminar.